What if I told you that most of your worries are actively preventing the solutions you're seeking? That the more you worry about 2026, the less likely it is to work out. Ancient Zen masters and Stoic philosophers discovered 7 counterintuitive truths. When you stop worrying and embody these principles instead, life has a mysterious way of working out. Today, I'm revealing these paradoxical wisdoms that turn anxiety into action and worry into well-being. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The Buddha taught that suffering comes not from circumstances but from our relationship with them. Both discovered the same truth: worry doesn't prepare you for challenges, it drains the energy you need to face them. As we enter 2026, you might be worried about your career, relationships, health, finances, or the state of the world. But these 7 truths reveal something profound. When you release worry and embody wisdom instead, life begins to align in unexpected ways. If you're ready to stop exhausting yourself with worry and start living with the calm confidence that makes things work out, subscribe now. You're about to discover why letting go of anxiety is the most practical thing you can do. Truth 1: Worrying is practicing failure. The first truth: every moment you spend worrying is a moment you're mentally rehearsing failure instead of preparing for success. Your brain doesn't distinguish well between vividly imagined experiences and real ones. When you worry, you're running failure simulations repeatedly. You imagine conversations going badly, projects failing, relationships ending. And with each mental rehearsal, you're training your nervous system to expect and even create those outcomes. The Stoics practiced premeditatio malorum, negative visualization, but this is different from worry. Premeditatio means calmly considering what could go wrong so you can prepare. Worry means emotionally dwelling on what might go wrong without preparing. Marcus Aurelius asked himself, "What would I do if this feared thing happened?" Then he prepared for that scenario and moved on. He didn't loop endlessly in anxiety. Zen master Suzuki taught, "In the beginner's mind there are many possibilities, but in the expert's mind there are few." When you worry, you collapse possibilities into one feared outcome. When you release worry, you open to multiple potential futures. The paradox: when you stop rehearsing failure through worry and start preparing calmly through wisdom, you perform better when challenges arise. Your nervous system is primed for effective action, not paralyzed by practiced anxiety. For 2026, instead of worrying about that job interview, promotion, or business launch, prepare thoroughly, then release the outcome. Your preparation serves you, your worry sabotages you. Truth 2: what you worry about rarely happens. The second truth. Studies show that 85% of what people worry about never happens. And the 15% that does happen? 79% of people report handling it better than they feared. Think about last year. How many things did you worry about that never occurred? How many disasters did you mentally rehearse that never materialized? How much energy did you waste on scenarios that remained purely imaginary? Seneca observed, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." 2,000 years later, psychological research confirms this. Your worried predictions are almost always worse than actual outcomes. But here's what's even more profound: when you worry constantly, you're living the negative outcome repeatedly in your mind even though it never happens in reality. You suffer through it hundreds of times mentally while experiencing it 0 times in actuality. The Zen concept of presence directly addresses this. When you're fully here now, you're not suffering through imagined futures. The present moment is almost always manageable. It's your thoughts about future moments that create suffering. Thich Nhat Hanh taught, "Worrying does not empty tomorrow of its troubles, it empties today of its strength." Every moment spent in worry about 2026 is a moment of 2026 you're not actually living. The paradox: when you stop worrying about the future, you're more present and effective now, which actually creates a better future. For 2026, that thing you're worried about. Statistically, it probably won't happen. And if it does, you'll handle it better than you think. Either way, worrying doesn't help. Truth 3, acceptance creates more change than resistance. The third truth, paradoxically, when you accept your current situation instead of worrying about it, you create the mental clarity and energy needed to actually change it. Epictetus taught the fundamental Stoic distinction: some things are in our control, others are not. Worry happens when you mentally struggle against what you can't control. Acceptance means acknowledging reality as it is, which frees your energy to focus on what you can control. This isn't passive resignation. It's active acceptance that creates space for effective action. When you're busy worrying about your current circumstances, you're not accepting them, you're resisting them. And that resistance drains the exact energy you need to improve them. The Zen teaching of non-resistance reveals this paradox. Like water flowing around a rock, acceptance allows you to move with reality rather than exhausting yourself fighting it. The water that accepts the rock's presence eventually shapes it. Carl Jung wrote, "What you resist persists." When you worry about a situation, you're mentally pushing against it, which keeps you stuck in it. When you accept it fully, this is how things are right now, you can see clearly what action to take. The paradox, accepting your current situation, without judgment or resistance, gives you the clarity and energy to change it. Fighting reality mentally through worry keeps you trapped. For 2026, that situation you're worried about changing? First, fully accept that it exists. Then, from that acceptance, take wise action. Acceptance doesn't prevent change, it enables it. Truth 4, your energy follows your attention. The fourth truth. Whatever you give attention to grows stronger in your experience. Where attention goes, energy flows, and results show. The Buddha taught about right effort, directing mental energy toward what's wholesome and away from what's unwholesome. Worry is unwholesome effort, it's attention directed toward feared outcomes, which makes them loom larger in your experience. Neuroscience confirms this. Your brain has a reticular activating system that filters reality to show you what you're focused on. When you worry about problems, you start seeing problems everywhere. When you focus on possibilities, you start noticing opportunities. Marcus Aurelius practiced redirecting attention: you have power over your mind, not outside events. He constantly redirected his attention from worries to wisdom, from problems to responses, from what he couldn't control to what he could. The Zen practice of meditation trains exactly this: noticing where your attention has gone, usually to worry, and gently returning it to the present moment. With practice, you develop the ability to direct attention rather than having it dragged around by anxiety. The paradox: when you stop giving attention to your worries and redirect it to your present actions and opportunities, the things you worried about often resolve naturally while you're focused elsewhere. For 2026. Stop feeding your worries with attention. Every time you catch yourself worrying, redirect that attention to, what can I do right now? What opportunity is present? What am I grateful for? Your experience shifts to match your focus. Truth 5, trust in your ability to handle what comes. The fifth truth, you've already survived 100% of your worst days. You've handled every challenge so far. This track record suggests you'll handle whatever 2026 brings. Look back at your life. Remember the things you worried about 5 years ago? You either handled them or they never happened. Remember the challenges you've actually faced. You're still here, which means you navigated them somehow. The Stoics cultivated resourcefulness, trust in their ability to respond to whatever arises. Epictetus taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. You can't control what 2026 brings, but you've proven you can handle responses. Buddhist psychology teaches about resilience, the fundamental human capacity to adapt and recover. You're far more resilient than you think. Worry assumes you're fragile. Reality proves you're anti-fragile. You get stronger through challenges. Viktor Frankl survived the Holocaust and wrote, when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. You have an unlimited capacity for adaptation that worry doesn't account for. The paradox: when you stop worrying about whether you can handle what's coming and trust your proven ability to respond, you approach challenges with resourcefulness rather than anxiety, which makes you handle them even better. For 2026. You don't need to know how you'll handle every possible challenge. You just need to trust that you will handle it when it comes, because you always have. Truth 6, the obstacle is showing you the way. The sixth truth: the things you're worried about aren't blocking your path, they're revealing it. Marcus Aurelius's most famous teaching: the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Every obstacle is simultaneously an opportunity to develop the exact qualities you need for your journey. Worried about public speaking? That worry is showing you that communication skills are your growth edge. Worried about a relationship challenge? It's revealing where you need to develop intimacy, boundaries, or self-love. Worried about financial pressure? It's indicating where you need to develop resourcefulness, value creation, or money wisdom. The Zen teaching is similar: the obstacle is the practice. Everything you encounter is precisely what you need to encounter for your development. Life doesn't throw random challenges at you, it presents exactly the curriculum you need. When you stop worrying about obstacles and start asking, "What is this here to teach me?" everything transforms. Problems become teachers. Challenges become opportunities. Worries become guideposts showing you where growth is needed. The paradox: when you stop seeing the things you worry about as problems to avoid and start seeing them as teachers to learn from, they often resolve while teaching you invaluable lessons. For 2026, that thing you're worried about. It's not in your way, it is the way. It's showing you exactly what you need to develop, learn, or change. Stop fighting it. Learn from it. Truth 7, peace now creates success later. The seventh and most profound truth. Peace in the present moment is the foundation for success in future moments. You can't worry your way to a better future, but you can cultivate your way there. The Buddhist teaching on right action reveals this: skillful action comes from a peaceful mind. When you're peaceful now, you make better decisions, see opportunities more clearly, respond more wisely, and attract better outcomes. Worry creates a baseline of stress that clouds judgment, impairs decision-making, and broadcasts desperation to others. Peace creates a baseline of clarity that sharpens judgment, improves decision-making, and radiates confidence. Marcus Aurelius cultivated inner peace while ruling an empire facing plague, war, and betrayal. His peace wasn't dependent on circumstances, it was the foundation from which he handled circumstances. That's why he remained effective when others panicked. The Zen concept of beginner's mind, combined with Stoic equanimity, creates this state, approaching each moment fresh, undisturbed by past failures or future worries. From this peace, wisdom naturally arises. The paradox: when you stop sacrificing present peace for future success and instead cultivate present peace as the foundation, future success becomes far more likely because you're operating from clarity, not anxiety. For 2026, your peace now is your success later. Every moment of worry is a moment of clarity you've sacrificed. Every moment of peace is a deposit in the bank of your future well-being and success. The way forward. These 7 truths work together to create a profound shift. From worry to wisdom, from anxiety to action, from fear to faith in your capacity. When you stop worrying, practicing failure, and remember that most worries never materialize, you free enormous energy. When you accept what is instead of resisting it, you create the clarity for effective change. When you direct attention away from worries toward opportunities, your experience transforms. When you trust your proven resilience, see obstacles as teachers, cultivate present peace, and understand that peace now creates success later, you've shifted from worry's paralysis to wisdom's power. This isn't toxic positivity. It's not denying real challenges or pretending everything is fine. It's recognizing that worry doesn't help you prepare for challenges, it exhausts you before they arrive. The Stoics and Zen masters didn't live in easier times. They lived in times of war, plague, political upheaval, and personal loss. Yet they discovered that peace and wisdom in the present moment is the most practical response to an uncertain future. For 2026, you have a choice: worry about what might happen, or prepare wisely for what could happen while remaining peaceful about what will happen. One exhausts you. One empowers you. If you're entering 2026 with worries about career, relationships, health, money, or the future, you're not alone. But you also don't have to let those worries dominate your experience. When Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events," he was offering profound freedom. You can't control what 2026 brings, but you can control whether you meet it with worry or wisdom, anxiety or acceptance, fear or faith in your capacity. These 7 truths aren't just philosophy, they're practical guidance for navigating an uncertain future. Stop practicing failure through worry. Remember, most worries never happen. Accept what is to change what can be changed. Direct your attention to what serves you. Trust your proven resilience. Learn from obstacles. Cultivate peace now as the foundation for success later. The most radical thing you can do in 2026 is stop worrying and start trusting, not that everything will go perfectly, but that you'll handle whatever comes. Because you always have. Life has a mysterious way of working out when you stop worrying and start living with wisdom. Not because the universe rewards you for not worrying, but because you perform better, see more clearly, and respond more skillfully from a place of peace than from a place of panic. If these truths helped you rethink worry and approach 2026 with more wisdom and less anxiety, show your appreciation with a like and subscribe for more ancient wisdom that makes modern life work better. Your practice for 2026: when you notice yourself worrying, pause and ask, which of these 7 truths do I need to remember right now? Let the truth guide you back to peace and effective action. In the comments, share which truth, 1 to 7, you most need to embody in 2026. Let's build a community of people choosing wisdom over worry as we move forward together. And remember, the future is uncertain. Your worries are optional. Your wisdom is available. Your peace is possible. And when you choose peace over worry, life has a mysterious way of working out. May your 2026 be filled with wisdom, not worry. With action, not anxiety. With peace, not panic. You've got this.